Hiya, it's LindaLee, and we're at my sink again. We're not doing an eco dye this time, though. We are just going to kind of hand wash and pre-wash some fabrics because I'm going to try and dye them for my Carpetbagger journal that I'm working on. So I am going to show you the dyeing part, but seeing as I'm kind of going through the whole process with y'all together, I figured I'd let you see kind of what I'm doing preparing the fabrics as well. So what I'm doing is I'm just simply pre-washing by hand. We're going to just kind of let these sit, soak, and rinse. It's just basically lukewarm water and Dawn. So I have a little bit of Dawn in the water. I just wanted to use something that was a mild soap to break down any kind of oils or anything that might be in the fabric. These are all new fabrics, so they're not necessarily dirty, but they could have something in them that would kind of hold back the dye from taking from the fabric. So not all of these are necessarily washable, but we're washing them anyway. We're going to just see how it all turns out. So these are all the ones that we selected in the previous video to potentially be the cover for my Carpetbagger. And I have one more to put in here. No colors are bleeding, which I really didn't expect that they would, but at the same time, you just really never know. And then this one too. Okay. So everybody's in the bath. I'm not going to be real vigorous with it at all. I just wanted to kind of let the soap get in there and break down whatever might be in the surface. And then the next time we come together, I'll edit it. Oh, I'm in the shadow now. I'll edit in the dyeing part. I'll probably just heat everything up in a pot and see if I can mount this over my stove. Or I can bring it back over into the sink, because once it's in the dye bath, it just needs to really sit. It doesn't matter, whether it's stovetop or not. It's just a matter of convenience. So, yay! Hopefully this works out well. And then I'm just going to rinse. Take out the plug. And I have a towel set at the side so I can just kind of blot them dry. And then what I'll do is I'll clip them to some hangers and let them dry outside. I have a lanai. And I can hang stuff out there. It'll be nice and warm today, so it shouldn't take them too long to dry. But I probably won't do the dye part until, I don't know if I'll do it this afternoon. I have some errands to run. But tomorrow morning maybe. It's getting hotter than I want it. So I wasn't real aggressive with it at all. This fabric I know has been washed before. It used to belong to a comforter that I used to have. really interested to see what these last two do with the dye. It's so exciting. Hopefully everything doesn't turn out just one plain color. That would be awful. But we learned something regardless, right? Okay, so let me move my camera a little bit. Just have you over on the counter now. If it shows. And okay. So I'm just kind of blotting the moisture out. And now we'll go put them on some hangers and dry. And then the next time we come together, we'll see what happens with purple dye. Okay. We'll see you again soon. Alrighty, bye-bye. Hiya, it's LindaLee, and we're gonna go ahead and try to dye these fabrics. After kind of reading directions and giving it a little bit of thought, I really didn't need to dry my fabrics because they actually supposedly take the dye better damp, and also it helps eliminate like air bubbles while they're being submerged. So the only thing that I've done is kind of set up the area, and I did moisten all of the fabrics again. So they are damp, they're not wet, they're just damp. And the only one that looked like it didn't really have a good time with the water was the one that I was hoping would dye the best, and that is this one here. So this one's probably got some wool in it. I had to actually pin it flat instead of hanging it, and it dried okay. I just had to, weight down the corners because it started to curl. I don't know if it was because the fibers were shrinking or what for sure. But we are going to move all of this aside and bring up, I put water in a pail. So I'm not sure how in the camera this is going to be, if it's all going to be right up in your face or what. But I have a gallon of hot water already in the pail, and with the instructions, for 1 pound of dry fabric, it's half a bottle of water, or half a bottle of the dye. Now I don't have a full pound, but I still use the whole gallon, and we're still going to use like half the bottle. So again, this is RIT dye. It's liquid. The color is purple. Here's purple. That's what it looks like. So it's an all-purpose dye. Just mix it up really well. So being that it's not, like the powdered dye like comes in the box, I don't have to worry about like salt and different little things and it being completely dissolved. But with the fabrics being moistened already, it helps eliminate air bubbles so that the dye takes more evenly. So actually this might not be enough for everything that I'm going to put in it. I'm not sure. But we'll see. It might be a hot mess. But what is life without a few little I don't know, science experiments? So this one fabric right here, I did take a piece of it and do a little bit of fussy cutting. So I have some pieces that we can potentially stitch in. I'm also rethinking, not necessarily the size, but the cover of the book. I think I might make it without a binding at all, kind of like an oversized single signature. Just because of the idea that's in my head is evolving. So we shall see. Ooh, look at that purple. That's beautiful. So these fabrics just might find their way into different projects, because I have a feeling I'm going to like a lot of it. I'm just hoping, like I said, the couple few that I really want turn out as well as I hope. I shredded up a few strips of cotton. I have a few little appliques that I'm going to put in there. Cotton, like, you know, the little cottons that they use for handles on bags and stuff. A piece of that for potential tabs. And a trim, a fringe trim for the carpet effect. So if we trim it with some fringe. So I don't know for certain how long to leave this in here. I'm probably going to do it for at least 15 minutes, because this is, wow, look at how this fabric took it already. I'm going to delay so I can see how it looks on camera if you guys are seeing, because I know there's not a lot of light in the bucket. Isn't that beautiful? Look, Mom.
Wow.
That was white.
Cool.
Right? I'm trying not to make a mess. But I think it might be inevitable. And then this one, look at that one. It's taking the purple exactly how I was hoping.
Oh.
Now the question is, how long to let it sit so that when I rinse it, it doesn't just all wash out. So I'm gonna push everything down, make sure it's fully submerged. Let's see how this one looks. Oh, that one's kind of cool. And we're going to come back in about 15 minutes and give it all a rinse, I think. I don't know, we'll kind of poke in it and see what it looks like in 15 minutes. I'm excited. Okay, so it's been 15 minutes. I was getting nervous. I wasn't going to wait that long because some of it looks pretty dark. But there's other pieces that don't seem to have taken the dye very much at all, which is fairly typical because I think they're They're just all different fabrics. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take everything out, and then I'm going to put a couple things back in. Like this one I think is going to go back in. I have a little empty pail next to this big pail with dye in it, so I'm just kind of, can you guys see the color in this one? I think that's going to be my ticket. It's gorgeous. Now we'll just see how much dye stays in the fabric color-wise when I rinse it. And my little appliques, that can probably go back in. Let's see the fringe pieces. So the fringe doesn't look like it's taking the dye evenly, but probably because I have too much in the pot. So that's gonna stay. This piece here, I'm not sure what that was. It looks like a solid color at the moment. Maybe it was the red one. Once it rinses, maybe it'll look better, or at least identifiable, because it looks like a solid piece of fabric right now. I didn't put anything solid in there. Here is the one that had the chairs on it. And then this is the one that was white. That is so awesome. So, of all the journals I've seen so many people make, I couldn't find where anybody actually dyed something for the cover. I saw some eco dyeing, you know, for the papers and stuff, but nice. And I think the rest is just trims now. Yeah. So I'm gonna leave those in there while I rinse the rest of them out. So this is just cotton that I strip or tore into strips. I just wanted to make sure that I had more pieces in the dye, because I probably won't do this again for the journal itself. But that I had, you know, other fabrics and a couple of options that were at least the same color. I can't get this pulled apart. Oh well. Okay. So, sorry, I haven't been paying attention to what you guys are looking at. I think it might have all been big old blue gloves. I'm not sure. So, I'm going to turn the camera. I'm going to leave those in there. Turn the camera over the sink. And so we're going to start with hot water, and as it starts rinsing more and more clear, we're going to cool the water down to close the little pores or cells in the fibers. I want to make sure I rinse it really, really well, because any of these fabrics, I don't want dye to rub off. Oop, I was going to put this one back in, wasn't I? Shoot. It's a gorgeous purple. Okay, Jewel, this is all for you. I hope this is the right purple. I'm going to have to tag you so you can see. Of course, I'm pretty sure you watch. I don't know. You're a pretty busy girl, so I'm not sure how much you watch my channel. I'm so happy. This did exactly what I thought it would do. Okay, I'm going to start to cool this down a little bit. This is like a little Easter bucket. See? And this is cool too, since it's two different kinds of fabrics that I took differently color-wise, more intense on the one fabric than the other. Yeah, this was that red fabric. You almost can't see the print at all anymore. Okay, you guys don't have to watch me rinse anymore. I'm gonna stop it, and once everything is dry, we'll come back. How's that sound? Okay. Hiya, it's LindaLee, and now we are on video 4 of this fabric processing day that we've had. All of the fabrics are dry, and we're gonna look at them now. I brought out the original pieces so you can see the difference between the original and what happened with our purple dye. So this is the red fabric. It turned out really dark. This is beautiful though, so I will definitely use it. I have a boho journal that I am going to be working on at some point this summer, so I'm sure this will find its way into that journal. But we're not going to use it in the Carpetbagger journal that we're working on right now. And the next one, remember the chair fabric? Well, I did cut some pieces up. This is kind of a bigger piece, what it looked like. I did do a little bit of fussy cutting for different pieces of it so that I can kind of do some patchwork and stitching. I don't know that I'll put these little pieces like in the journal I'm working right now with or on, but they will definitely find their way into a journal down the road because I've been meaning to do that for some time. This is the same fabric after the purple dye. Didn't it turn out great? It looks pretty good, doesn't it? So this fabric was a really good one with the dye. It took to it really well. I never found out for certain what kind of fabric it was, but it's got to be some kind of heavier linen. That's what it feels like anyway. So that was that one. The next one is the one that looked like wallpaper. So this one here. Now this one is heavier. It's like an upholstery fabric. And this particular one didn't do a whole lot. Look at that. The colors are almost the same except for the one that's in the background. Even the white is still white. Isn't that weird? Actually, it's kind of cool. But this one is just more pink now, which will fall into quite a bit of what I do because I love pink. So I have a shabby chic journal planned as well. The boho and shabby chic have been on the designing list probably since I started doing this. I hope to get to both of them this summer. especially, you know, now having the YouTube channel and everything. But that's definitely going to get used. The next fabric is this white one right here. So remember, it's like a denser linen with a little white cotton stitched on top of it. Beautiful, really lightweight, very cool, textured. Look how this one took to the dye. Ta-da! Is that not gorgeous? I can't believe how pretty this one turned out. I think I'm going to actually try and see if I can get more of this fabric, because this is the only other piece I have of it, but it can be dyed any color, and even if it's used in pieces, it's so gorgeous. I just want to have it available for, you know, future projects, because you know what happens once something, you know, gets inventory they used up or whatever, especially in the fabric stores, you never find it again. So that's the purple. Now the next one is the cover. It's extremely exciting. It did exactly what I hoped it would. So it was this bluish greenish fabric. This is what it looked like before the dye. So I'm still not sure if this is blue or green. It's got to have a lot of blue tones though for the way it took to the dye, because this is what it looks like now. Is that not gorgeous? It's so absolutely perfect. I'm very, very, very happy with the result. Jewel, I don't know if this is the right color, but I hope it's close enough that you'll be happy. So this is going to be the cover to your journal. I love it so much, I don't even know if I'm going to do anything to it more than just put it on the cover. So we will see though. It's just gorgeous. I also threw some trims in the water. So here is one of the trims. Well, the trim. This here, a little cotton, well, it's a trim. I don't know what they're actually called. You know, it's if you get like a canvas bag and they have those cotton handles, that's what this fabric is. So I'll probably use this for like tabs or something. I threw in some torn strips of cotton. I just wanted to make sure that I had another material for either this project or another. I just knew that I probably wouldn't be doing the dyeing again. So that's why I did that. But is this not such a gorgeous ensemble? Sorry, I'm excited. I'm very excited. I just can't wait to get started. It's almost intimidating though, because this is so perfect. I don't want to mess it up. But once we put it with the extra dye, I had a few pieces of mixed media paper that I didn't use in my last eco dye. So I threw these in the bucket with the dye. So it was kind of hard getting them in there because there was only about this much of water in the round part of the bucket. But I managed to get majority of it. So it's not perfectly solidly dyed, but this is really what I would prefer anyways. The imperfect. Perfection in the imperfection is something I like to say. And hopefully one day I'll have a t-shirt that says so. So anyway, here is the ink card that we kind of played with yesterday. So you can kind of see how they're all going to coordinate together. Is that not awesome? I'm so very excited.
Okay, but that's it for now, because after putting 4 of these little clips together, it's going to be a fairly long video, and I want everyone to see the end on this one for sure. So thank you for hanging out with me. I'll see you in a few days with another edition. I need to do some coffee staining for the interior pages. Coffee staining isn't a very exciting video, so I'm not sure that I'll do a video on it. I may do some spray technique, so if I do that, I'll set it up at my coffee table so we can at least sequentially have a series of videos covering each aspect. So I'm not sure what just happened. I don't know if I was just getting a call. Oh, I know what it was. Siri thought I was talking to her. Okay. iPhones, what are you going to do? I'm going to let you guys go, though. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day or evening or whatever it is, wherever you're at. And I will see you again soon. Thank you, my friends. Have a wonderful night.